Hello Year 2, welcome to our final maths lesson of the week. So let's kick things off with a little bit of fluency. We've got our counting in threes sequence here. So let's just recap this from 0, looking at all the numbers. Off we go, 1, 2, 3, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Fantastic. So hopefully you should be a little bit more familiar with the sequence by now after practicing it all week. So what we're going to do is we're going to play our hidden numbers game again. So what you need to do is you need to close your eyes, keep them closed until I say open. Off you go. I'm going to hide some numbers. Make sure your eyes are closed. Okay, I've hidden 2 numbers, so open your eyes again. Right, let's say the sequence again and try to remember what our missing numbers are. 1, 2, 3, 0, 3, 6, 9. That's right, it's 12. Fantastic. Carrying on then. 15, 18, 21, 24. And that's right, it's 27. Well done if you remembered. Finish off the sequence. 30, 33, 36. Fantastic. Right, keep them eyes of yours closed again. I'm going to hide some more numbers. Okay, open your eyes. They are hidden. You might already know what those hidden numbers are, but let's go through our sequence again. 1, 2, 3, 0, 3, 6, 9. That's right. Carrying on then. 12, 15, 18. Well done if you remembered that. Carrying on to the end then. 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Let's do it one more time. Close your eyes. No peeking, no cheating. I'm going to hide 2 more numbers while your eyes are closed. Okay, open your eyes, they're hidden. You may already know which numbers are hiding behind those blue boxes, but let's go through the sequence one final time. Starting with 0 then. 1, 2, 3. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Well done if you said 21. Let's carry on then. 24, 27, 30. Well done if you said 33. And then the last number, of course, is 36. Well done. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do something very similar to what we did yesterday, but instead of working on our 2 times tables, we're going to be working on our 5 times tables today. So that means we need to practice counting in our groups of 5. So starting off with 0 then, I've got 0 groups of 5 here. So that means all together I've got 0. I have no groups, so I have nothing altogether. What about this then? If I have 1 group of 5, I've got 1 group of 5. That means that all together I've got 5, that's right. What about now if I have 2 groups of 5? Well, we would write that like this by saying 2 groups of 5. And all together I would have 0, 5, 10. What about another then? If I had now 3 groups of 5, well, we would write that down by saying 3 groups of 5, and then all together I would have 5, 10, 15. If I added another group, how many pencils do you think I would have all together? That's right, you might remember that the next number in our sequence of 5s is 20. So what about if I add another group of 5? What comes after that? 25. Well done. And what about if we add another group of 5? What number comes next in our sequence? That's right, it's 30. And then what comes after 30 in our sequence of 5s? Well done, it's 35. And then if we add another group after that, we'll have 40. Well done. And then one more group. 45, fantastic. And one more group. 50, excellent. And then what comes after 50 in our sequence of 5s? 55. And finally, 60, excellent. So let's just practice that one more time by counting all the way through to 60 in our 5s. 1, 2, 3, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Well done, Year 2, for your counting. So let's put that into practice then. Look at some of our multiplication expressions. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn these expressions into equations, because now we're going to work out our answer. So starting at the beginning then, I need to know how many groups there are. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups here. I've got 6 groups of 5, that's right. So I would say I've got 6 multiplied by 5, 6 groups of 5. So the 6 represents my 6 groups. The 5 represents the 5 that is in each of my groups. And then now I need to work out the product. That is the number that is going to represent the number of items, or in this case, dots, that I've got all together. And we do that by skip counting in our 5s. So we know how to count in 5s, we've just been practicing that. And we're going to do that 6 times to represent our 6 groups. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, that's right. So my product, my total number of dots is 30. So that means if I were to count all of these dots on the screen, then I would get 30 altogether. But I didn't just count them all one by one, because that would be a little bit of a waste of time when I can count much faster straight away in my 5s. And then don't forget that we can also write this in a different way as well. We could also move our product to the front and keep our 2 factors the same. So I would just switch those around by putting my product at the front and then saying that 30 is the same as 6 groups of 5. Super duper. Another example here then, starting off by saying how many groups I have. I've got 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5, 5 groups of 5, 6 groups of 5, 7 groups of 5. So the first factor shows me that I've got 7 groups. My second factor shows me that I've got 5 flowers inside each group. And then I can calculate my product, which is going to represent the total number of flowers that I've got here, by counting in my 5s 7 times. So what we can do is we can point to the screen and count in 5s for each group, or we can get our 7 fingers up to represent the 7 groups that we have and skip count in 5s 7 times. So let's go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So my product would be 35. Can you have a go at pausing the video and writing down what you think this equation would be here? Lovely, you should have had a go at that by now. So did you write this? 35 is the same as 7 groups of 5. Well done if you did. Lovely. So you might see an activity a little bit like this, where you've got to write in the multiplication equation to represent this picture grouping here. So here I've got 0 groups of anything, but we know that we're counting in 5, so I would say that I've got 0 groups of 5, and altogether that leaves me with no pencils. Whereas here I've got 1 group of 5, so I would write that by saying 1 group of multiplied by 5. And altogether, that leaves me with, that's right, 5 pencils. And then here I've got 2 groups of 5, which I would write as 2 groups of 5. And that would leave me with 10 pencils altogether. Have a go at this last one. See if you can work out what this last multiplication equation would be. Have you had a go? Let's go through the answers. So we've got 1, 2, 3 groups here. I've got 3 groups of 5. So then all together, I have got 5, 10, 15 pencils. Super duper, and then that would carry on from here as well. But let's move on to something else. So I've got some multiplication equations here, but my product is missing. So what I need to do is I need to match these with the picture representation opposite. So let's decode. I've got 4 groups of 5 here. So 4 groups of 5. Well, I've got 1 group of 5. 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5. So this one instantly matches this one. So that means that to work out the product, I've got to count in my 5s 4 times. So let's get our 4 fingers up to represent our 4 groups, and then we count 5, 10, 15, 20. That means my product is 20. Lovely. How about pausing the video and seeing if you can work out which multiplication equation matches with each picture? Super. If you need more time, remember to keep the video paused, but let's go through the answers now. So here I've got 3 groups of 5. So let's have a look here. I've got 1 group of 5. Now this is actually a 5p coin, but it's a little bit tiny. So each of these silver coins represent 5 pence. So I've got 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5. Well, already that is more than 3. So I know that it's not this one. So looking here, I've got 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5. Instantly, I know it matches to this one. And then I calculate my product by counting in 5s 3 times. So I get my 3 fingers to represent my 3 groups. And then I count 5, 10, 15. That means my product is 15. And then I know that this one matches here. So I had 4, 5, 6 groups of 5 there, which matches with this. And then I calculate my product by getting 6 fingers and counting 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that means my product is 30. Well done if you calculated those correctly. Super. So let's have a look at some bar models then. I've got 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5. So I would show that in my bar model by having 5 written 4 times to represent my 4 groups. And then the number 5 represents the number of balloons in each of my groups. So then that means I need to write my expression. So I have got 4 groups of 5. And all that's left to do is calculate my product. And I do that by skip counting in my 5s 4 times. So I can get my 4 fingers up to represent my 4 groups and begin counting. 5, 10, 15, 20. Well done. So that goes in the top of my bar model here. And then it would go, in this case here, at the end. But don't forget, I can also write it by rearranging my product to the beginning. And I could start by saying that 20 balloons is the same as 4 groups of 5 balloons. There you go. So leaving that there as an example, can you do the same for this representation of Numicon? Pause the video, give yourself as much time as you need, and then when you're ready, we'll go through it together. Super, so you should have had a go at that by now. Let's have a look then. I can see that I've got 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5, 5 groups of 5, 6 groups of 5, 7 groups of 5, 8 groups of 5. And I can write that as an expression by saying 8 groups of, very tricky to write with my mouse today, so I do apologise, 8 groups of 5. And then all that's left to do is calculate our product. And we do that by skip counting in our 5s 8 times. So I have got here 8 groups, and let's go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Well done, year 2. So the product, the total, goes in the top of my bar model, and in this case at the end. And then we can also write it by moving our product to the front and saying that 40 is the same as 8 groups of 5. Super. And now taking away our picture representations altogether, just looking at this bar model then, I can see that I have got 5 written 3 times. So I've got 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5. So I would write that by saying 3 groups of 5. And then remember, we've got to calculate our product by counting in our 5s for each group. So I get my 3 fingers and I count 5, 10, 15. That's my product. Well done. And then don't forget to fill in your bar model, and then also rearrange your equation to write your product at the beginning here. So 15 is the same as 3 groups of 5. Lovely. Once again, pause the video and have a go at writing this bar model as 2 different multiplication equations. Super, so you should have had a go at that by now. Let's go through the answers together. So I can see here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of 5. So I would write my expression as 9 groups of 5. And then don't forget to finish off by turning it into an equation and writing our product. And we do that by counting each of these 5s 9 times. So that means we can get 9 fingers. Count in 5s 9 times. So let's go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Lovely. Well done. Good counting. So 45 is my product, which goes at the end here. And then I can also write that by rearranging my product to the front and saying that 45 is the same as 9 groups of 5. Super work, year 2. Well done. So now it's your turn to have a go all by yourself. So remember, you do not have to do all of the sheets. Just to be clear, you need to differentiate for yourself and choose the work that is best suited to how you're finding this. So if you're finding counting in 5s a little bit tricky still, start here with the circle. That's absolutely fine. And just like we did earlier in the flip chart, I can see here that I've got 0 groups of 5, which I would write down here as 0 groups of 5. And that means that altogether I have actually got no pencils. So then I would write 0. And then I go on to add another group of 5 each time I go down. So 1 group of 5 would be written here as 1 multiplied by 5, or 1 group of 5. And then altogether that leaves me with 5 pencils. And then carrying on following the sequence. Remember, you can access these worksheets through the Byronwood Home Learning section of the website, and you can print them out, or you can write on the sheets, save them, and then send them back to your class email account. Or if you prefer, you can just pause the video here and just write down your answers on a sheet of paper before taking a picture of it and sending it on. So this is the circle sheet continued. And then the semicircle sheet is just the picture representation, how many groups of 5, and then your product, your total, and then writing that in one of the ways that we can show the equation. And then the triangle sheet is your opportunity to write that equation in 2 different ways by moving that product to the front. And then the square sheet is the bar models with the picture representations there to help you. So you're filling in the bar models and calculating the products on the top. So these are groups of 5. So 5, 5, 5, 5, that's 4 groups of 5. And then I would count in my 5s 4 times, 5, 10, 15, 20. And that's the product that I would write in the top of my bar model. And then we've got our pentagon sheet, and that is the bar model without any pictorial representation to help you. So also you've got to write it in the 2 different ways of having the product at the end or the product at the beginning. So remember, you don't have to do all of these sheets, just choose 2 that are challenging for you and the level that you're working at the moment. But once again, well done, year 2. I know it's not easy to do this at home, but you're all doing a fantastic job, and we're really proud of all the work that you're producing. So keep it up. Bye everyone, have a lovely weekend.